Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with me. This is the first episode of the pregame for the 2024 season. And this is typically where I like to give my keys to victory, my thoughts on the upcoming game, whatever may cross my mind. And this is what we're going to get into right now. Week 1 of the 2024 season, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be traveling to Atlanta, Georgia to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, there's a couple things that we definitely need to talk about. Number one, Russell Wilson. But actually, I'm going to save that for just a moment. Man, there's a couple things to think about when you think about this upcoming game. A lot of people are saying that Arthur Smith is going to have a lot of intel. Not necessarily, guys. That staff has changed. Raheem Morris is now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he brought his offensive coordinator along with him. Both of these gentlemen were with the Rams just this past season. So it's more likely that the Steelers may see familiarity from their offense or their approach from what they saw facing off against the Rams last season. Not necessarily what Arthur Smith did with the Falcons. Now, that would be great from a defensive standpoint if we see the same thing. Because remember, T.J. Watt making that incredible interception. I mean, what a hezzy play by T.J. Watt off of Matt Stafford. Would be great to have something similar like that happen against Kirk Cousins, right? But anyway, we cannot go into this game thinking it's going to be, Arthur Smith is familiar with them. He knows what they like to run. No, because the staff has changed. Like I said, the head man as well as the offensive coordinator is now different personnel. But what we can say, which could be a detriment to the Steelers, this Atlanta Falcons defense may be familiar with what Arthur Smith likes to do. So that is going to be an interesting challenge for the Steelers. So my first key to victory, we cannot go into this game and allow them to get a beat on what we're doing. And I know that's easier said than done, but what I'm saying is we need to continue to mix it up. Don't just follow the script. Throw them off a bit. Hey, Arthur Smith, do a couple things that I saw you do in preseason. How about allow the Steelers to come out and run play action on first down? Things like that. That kind of gets the defense off of their timing. They won't be able to necessarily key on what we're doing. Keep throwing different looks at them. Of course, there's going to be things that are going to look familiar to the Falcons defense, I'm sure. But because of that, you got to, find ways to, quote unquote, stay on script, but not allow the script to be an open book, if that makes sense. That's going to be the first key to victory. Of course, the next key to victory will be Steelers going to have to possess and run the football. I mean, you could say that each and every week, but that is something that a lot of teams try to do each and every week, particularly a team like the Steelers who want to pride themselves on running the football and playing bully ball. We're going to have to establish the run because, like I said, I think if the Steelers can get play action going off of the run or running play action to set up the run, vice versa, that's going to be how they're going to perform, be able to perform a winning performance, right? Be able to produce a winning performance, if I can get my words correct. That's going to be the winning formula. We're going to have to run the football, utilize some play action, and kind of keep the defense off of their, being able to time or, key on what we're doing. That's going to be very key. Defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers, to get some pressure on Kirk Cousins, man. Cannot allow Kirk Cousins to just sit back there and throw the football. Contrary to what some people would say, Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback. Okay, maybe he hasn't won at the level that some people would have expected him to do, but this guy can play football. He can throw the football. He can light you up running zone, things of that nature. We're going to have to keep pressure on him. Kirk Cousins is more than likely going to get the ball out fast. So if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, key on that, right? Play a little tighter coverage, if you will. Not again, I know it's easier said than done, but what I'm saying, hopefully these are things that we've scouted from what we know of Kirk Cousins. He's probably going to get the ball out quick. So I would like to see us play more tight coverage, not just the drop zones where we're giving up so much space. And most of you guys who watch me on this channel, you understand what I'm talking about. a lot of that off coverage. I don't want to see a whole lot of that where we're giving up tons of space. We're basically giving the receivers 10 yards as we're backpedaling. Nah, let's reduce that a little bit. Even if it's not man coverage, even if it is, zone, let's just get the alignment a little closer. Maybe cut that down to about 6 or 7 yards, off the line of scrimmage or off the receiver. So that way we're in a better position to make a play on a quick throw. Because I do think, that TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, as well as Nick Herbig, I do think there will be opportunities to get some pass rush going. Hopefully Cam Hayward and Ogunjobi, even Keanu Benton as well, can contribute to that. Because I've heard, can't say that I know, but I've heard that the offensive line of the Falcons hasn't played that well. Again, I didn't waste my time really studying their tape in preseason. They don't play the starters a lot, so I was like, what's the point? I did take a look at the game, but it's not going to give me a lot of intel. I'll really start diving more into that when real football games are happening. Like, obviously, after this week, I'll be able to go back, take a look and see what the Broncos did to be prepared, give my assessment of how I think the Steelers would have to play them. But yeah, that would be my main takeaways. Now, of course, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Russell Wilson was limited in Thursday's practice, which is today. I don't know what day you guys are going to see this. I'm not even sure what day I'm going to release this. I may release it tonight or tomorrow, being Friday. But it was said that Russell Wilson, limited in practice with a calf stiffness. We know the calf is something that he's been battling through training camp. Does that mean that Russell Wilson will not play Sunday? Does that mean that even if he's able to play, how long will he remain in the game? Will he finish the whole game? Does that mean that we're going to see Justin Fields have to come in for him? Or does it mean that Justin Fields will get the start on Sunday? A lot of interesting things could transpire. A lot of interesting things. And it's too bad that I'm not going to really be able to report on it, as most of you guys know, on Friday, which will, again, tomorrow for some of you, or whatever day you're watching this. I will be out of town. I will be in New York, having a good time with friends and family. Excuse me. Won't have an opportunity to do a show like this. If anything, maybe I could pop out real quick and do a quick phone, 2-second video. But a lot of questions, man, that we need to have answered. And obviously that final injury report will not come out until tomorrow, Friday, September the 6th it will be. Very interesting questions, guys. The question is who will be playing quarterback? That could change everything. Now, let's just look at it from this perspective. If Justin Fields is the guy that has to play, could the Steelers still win the game? Perhaps. Follow the same plan. Run the football, play action, keep those guys off balance, and then you mix in some zone read and boot action and things like that, utilizing Justin Fields' legs. Then I think that still gives the Steelers a fair opportunity to perhaps win the game. But I will say this really quick before I wrap up. I can't outright say that the Steelers are going to win this game. I can't. I know some of you guys want to be homers. Listen, it's week 1. We all need to see what game our Steelers play. We all need to see what type of performance they put out there, where we're weak, where we're not. We have to see what guys like Spencer Anderson is going to do, having to play left guard, as well as Zach Frazier. I'm confident in him, but he is a rookie. As well as Dan Moore, more than likely being at left tackle. Broderick Jones back on the right. Does Falcons play? I don't know. Does he start? I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that is up in the air. But one thing we know for sure, 2 very, very young guys right in that interior line. How is that going to play out? As the Falcons has a pretty solid D tackle over there that's going to give them some fits. So we have to wait and see how all that plays out. So I can't sit here today and say, we're going to go beat them up. No. I've got to see what type of team we have. But one thing is for sure, man, we must We must limit their run game, and we must keep a lid on a guy like Kyle Pitts. Now, some of you guys are going to say, well, why am I not talking about London? Of course I know what London brings to the table. But the Steelers have had more problems, even last season, even in a game that I was at in person when we played those 2-10 Cardinals. We had a tough time keeping the lid on tight ends. And I'm sure the Falcons, Raheem Morris and company, I'm sure they know that about the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You can attack us in the middle. You can attack us down the seam with a tight end. And what better tight end to do it with than a guy like Kyle Pitts with his athleticism and speed? So those to me would be the two keys, of course. Don't let them get comfortable running the football. I mean, Bijan Robinson and maybe Algier or whoever else will tote the mail for them. I'm sure they'll have a couple runs or two. It's the NFL. But do not let them get into a rhythm where they're getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop. It's not going to be good for us. And also, we cannot allow the tight end to kill us. But if the Steelers can maintain that, and if they can run the football, utilizing play action and things of that nature on the offensive side of the field, they have a chance to win the game. I know that's the obvious answer, but they do. If they can control the line of scrimmage on both sides, we'll see. But like I said, I can't confidently say whether they're going to win or lose because I don't know what team we have yet. I have to see it in action. All right, but that's all I got, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, like always, man, I will be coming to you guys after the game. I'm hoping to be back home at 1 o'clock to watch the game in real time. If I'm not, I will watch the condensed version via Game Pass, but I will at some point Sunday do a post-game show. You know we got to get that done to kick off the season. So hopefully we're talking about a win. But other than that, man, I just hope it's a good game. I like to see us play a good game whether we win or lose. What I don't want to see is a repeat of what we've seen the last couple seasons to start the season. And we're looking slow, man. We're looking like we can't run the ball. And we're looking like guys are not on the same page. I don't want to see that again. Would like to see a win, but even if we lose, I would like it to be a digestible loss, if you will. All right, so that's all I got for you guys, man. Again, make sure you do a couple things for me right here, man. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button as it's covering my face right there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notifications. And more importantly, man, if you do like the content and like the video, make sure you share this video out, man. Help me out. Like and share. Like and share. All right, that's going to do it for me. Y'all stay safe. God bless. Stay healthy. Good night. And like always, I thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you in the next one. Peace.